So the situation here at AT&T Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys 17, the Texans 10. Houston has 2 timeouts remaining. Dallas faces a 2nd and 9 from its own 21-yard line. Romo out of the gun.
Delay of game.
Delay of game.
Unbelievable.
Offense, 5-yard penalty remaining.
After a timeout. I mean, that is critical because the Texans will have 3 ways to stop the clock now on the 2nd and 15.
And it also
14.
forces you into a passing situation if you're looking to get a first down, obviously, and that would stop the clock on an incomplete ball.
It would be wise to throw a screen or just a draw play to Murray at this point.
So 2nd and long now for Dallas after the delay of game. With the handoff, there is the wide receiver screen for Harris. And Dwayne Harris able to work his way upfield. Good block by Dez Bryant. And eventually brought down on the play by Merciless.
Yeah, let's go back and look at the Dez Bryant touchdown here. And watch the veteran quarterback, Tony Romo, see that this is a rookie out here. Andre Howell on Dez Bryant. That is a gimme. Kareem Jackson out of the lineup, and Howell claiming he was pushed off. Romo recognizing the personnel on the field, the single coverage on his best receiver. Easy score.
And now a 3rd and 6. This Houston defense, which has been excellent on the young season, number 7 in the NFL in points allowed, 16.8. That's basically what they've given up here against a high-powered offense, the Dallas Cowboys. Texans need a stop. Dallas 55% on 3rd down conversions. That's tied for 2nd in the NFL. And they're 6 out of 11 today. Critical. Beasley in motion. On a 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys. Romo throws it off his back foot and nobody there. Getting rid of it. So Houston able to maintain 1 timeout. They still have the 2-minute warning. Pressure from Reed and Lewis on the play, and now Ryan Fitzpatrick getting ready to bring his offense onto the field and try to rally on the road.
Now, Kareem Jackson was in on that play. He had Beasley in the slot. Jonathan Joseph had the man-to-man coverage on Bryant on the outside. Perfect coverage, and now a penalty flag. Intentional grounding against Tony Romo. He was in the pocket when he threw that ball away, and there was no receiver anywhere near it. Loss of down and loss of yardage here.
A really poor sequence for this Dallas offense.
Well, they had a delay of game coming out of a timeout. Pressure by Kendrick Lewis, and Romo just bails out and draws the flag after a conference of the officials.
So Chris Jones will punt it out of his own end zone with 2:10 left on the clock. Romo on the day, 22 of 33, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Keyshawn Martin is waiting for it at the Houston 39. Martin in his 3rd year. 4th-round pick out of Michigan State. Jones with a punt. Martin moves forward, brings it in cleanly at the 41. Works his way to Dallas territory and angles out of bounds. 59 to play. The Cowboys had the ball for 29 seconds on that last drive, and now the Texans take over down by 7 with a 1st and 10 at the Cowboys 45. Fitzpatrick throw it underneath to Andre Johnson. Johnson has got some running room. Johnson sprints to the 25. Good block from Garrett Graham. Springs Johnson for 20 yards on the catch and run.
And he missed practice time with a bad left ankle. Nothing wrong with the ankle on this play. Good decision and good play selection by Bill O'Brien.
We're down to 1:36 to play. Houston does have 1 timeout remaining. 5 catches for Johnson. 58 yards. Out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Texans down 7. Fitzpatrick. He's got Hopkins. Brought down just short of the 5 by Brandon Carr. Bang, bang. Houston down the field on 2 plays, and that one covers 19.
You know, we've been talking about the Dallas offensive line. Well, the Texans offensive line has protected Fitzpatrick well today. 0 sacks for the Cowboys on Fitzpatrick.
First and goal from the 6. The handoff. Foster bangs his way inside the 1.
You know, that old thing about scoring too quickly, I think it's a bunch of hogwash. You just want to score. Tie this one up.
Second and goal. Hand it off. It's Foster slicing in. Touchdown, Texans.
I'd be surprised if Bill O'Brien goes for 2 here. You want to tie this one up. You've got the momentum right now. That was a 4-play, 45-yard drive. Fitzpatrick with a couple of strikes, and then Foster pays it off, going over the right side. But the Cowboys have just faded here in the last 2 minutes.
A namaste for Arian Foster. And frustration for Jason Garrett and the Cowboys. You could not have scripted that any better for Houston. What they did defensively against Dallas, the miscues by the Cowboys on offense, and then they back it up by moving right down the field to tie this game up after the Bullock extra point. Jerry Jones's team now finds itself in a tense situation, tied at 17 apiece with 41 seconds left.
41 seconds and 3 timeouts. You know, a lot depends on if you get a good kickoff return here. But there's plenty of time for Romo because of those 3 timeouts. And the fact, when you think about the personnel he has, the weapons he has in the passing game with Bryant and Williams and, of course, Witten down the middle, a lot of options for Romo. But right now, the momentum is in the dark blue.
It's a deep steel blue, Dan, if you're going to be specific with the colors.
It's not dark blue?
I believe deep steel.
Deep steel. Sounds like a World Wrestling Federation. No, that was in that movie, Zoolander.
Oh, yeah.
Is that where they got it? Deep steel blue.
Deep steel.
Huh?
It's the Zoolander look.
That's the look you give me a lot.
And you take it.
You the man.
41 seconds left in this 4th quarter, and Houston has rallied to tie this one up at 17 apiece. Randy Bullock will kick it off. Dwayne Harris waits for it. He's the deep man for the Cowboys. All tied up in Big D. Harris will take it out. Harris looking for blockers. And Harris comes up short of the 20-yard line. Justin Tuggle on special teams.
Now you start thinking about Dan Bailey's range. Career long this year, or career long is 53, as long this year, just 51. He has hit 30 in a row.
Now Romo has had a knack throughout his career. Dan Bailey has been so consistent and reliable for this Cowboys team. 30 straight field goals made by Bailey. That's the longest active streak in the league. Can they get him into range? 36 seconds left. Knotted up at 17 apiece. Shotgun for Romo. Romo throws it underneath. Murray with a catch, and now will duck out of bounds. So they pick up 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, that's where returning that kickoff out of the end zone really hurts you, because you don't get the ball out to the 20 and you waste time off the clock. So give the offense that time back. Just take the ball at the 20. Don't return that kickoff.
2nd and 2 now for the Cowboys. Romo making a change. He's got time to work with on the play clock. It's down to 7. Trying to make sure Murray knows the play. Rush coming. Romo steps up. A little dart to Murray. Murray makes a beeline to the perimeter. And he's out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That's 16 yards for the Cowboys.
Yeah, another 20 yards or so, and they've got a shot at a real long field goal. 25 yards. puts Bailey in his range.
23 seconds left.
Last two plays, the Texans have only rushed 4 players, and Romo, he's had plenty of time.
Just across the 40-yard line, first down for Dallas. Working underneath again, and a drop ball by Bryant. Incomplete.
Well, they had something going there, too, if this ball is caught by Bryant. The Texans were rushing 5 that time. Bryant has blockers out in front, but that ball was thrown high, and that makes it difficult for Bryant not only to catch the ball, but get going after he comes back down to the earth.
Both teams 3-1, considered surprises in the early portion of the season. Houston has battled back. Dallas trying to get it done with a last-second finish. Romo avoids the pressure, throws, and there's room for Murray into Houston territory, and he's dropped at the 45. 12 seconds left on the clock. 15 yards on the pass play, and a timeout called by the Cowboys.
3 straight completions to DeMarco Murray, and the Cowboys are in business now. Still have 2 timeouts, so they can use the entire field. But the Texans more concerned with the wide receivers, Williams and Bryant, and the tight end Witten. 10 more yards for Romo and the Cowboys. That would make it a 53-yard field goal for Bailey, and that's his career long. But perfect kicking conditions inside this beautiful stadium.
12 seconds left. From the 45 of Houston. They could have time for 2 quick plays and a field goal try, depending upon play selection. Romo from the gun. Romo gets rid of it. He's got Des Bryant, and Bryant brought down inside the 40 by Joseph. 7 seconds left after the 8-yard gain, and a timeout called by the Cowboys.
Well, they're just giving the Cowboys receivers, Bryant that time and DeMarco Murray before, just way too much room. Look how far off Jonathan Joseph is playing. Easy reception, and now Bryant, after the catch, picks up about 3 more yards.
Right now, they're looking at a 55-yard field goal attempt for Dan Bailey. There's 7 seconds left on the clock.
They have time to run one play on the ground to the middle of the field, pick up a couple yards, and get them just a little bit closer, because they have that timeout to use. The important thing, though, for Murray is to realize that you only have 3 or 4 seconds. So once you get what you can get down. Don't try to get to the end zone.
7 seconds remaining. Second down for the Cowboys. Looking for some yardage before they bring Dan Bailey onto the field for a game-winning field goal attempt. It will be a running play. It's Murray up the gut. And a few seconds come off the clock. 3 seconds remain. Takes it to the 35, and now it will be Bailey with a chance to win it.
Be about a 53-yarder. And that's been the goal the whole time, is to get him within his range. You know, this natural rivalry, huge in Texas. It's too bad the NFL can't figure a way to make this a seasonal thing like they could do with so many of the natural rivalries in the NFL. I know they have their system.
Houston does have a timeout remaining. We'll see if Bill O'Brien chooses to ice Dan Bailey.
I think Dan's icing himself right now. He's about 20 yards behind everybody, just getting loose, concentrating, focusing, all those things. And I'm sure O'Brien, standing right next to the official, is going to call a timeout. There it is.
Timeout is called. So Bailey will have to think about it a little longer. That's the final timeout for the Texans.
You always want to try to get into a kicker's head. I know Bailey's on a heck of a streak here, having hit 30 in a row. But he's definitely thinking about it. He knows it's a long kick. And remember, the guy that's going to be rushing right up the middle trying to block this kick is J.J. Watt. And Watt has already blocked an extra point this season. Long kick like this, you got to drive it. You can't get as much height under it as you might like. Distance important here.
Dallas looking to improve to 4-1 on the season. They will be at Seattle next, and then home for the Giants. The Texans will have a quick turnaround, hosting Indianapolis on Thursday night, a game we'll have for you here on CBS. So here we go. 53-yard attempt. LP Ladasar will snap it. Jones, the punter, will hold it. For the win, Dan Bailey from 53 yards, and it is offline. Overtime in Dallas.
They had plenty of leg, but the icing perhaps paid off for Houston.
Danny has made 30 in a row until that kick.
The odds were in the Texans' favor then. That's a remarkable run. This tested his distance. He had it, but he just pulled it a little bit left.
It was all set up for Jason Garrett and the Cowboys to walk out of here with a win. And instead, overtime.
Each team will have the opportunity for a possession unless the team receiving the snap and seeing the opening kickoff scores a touchdown. Each team will have two timeouts, and all replay will be done from the replay booth. This is tails. This is heads. What are you going to call?
Tails.
Tails. Move around. Tails is the call. Tails it is. You want to receive. Houston will receive at this end.
Houston wins the toss. They'll have the football when we come back. It's overtime in the Battle of the Lone Star State. Overtime rules, 1 15-minute quarter, a touchdown or a safety on the first possession wins the game, not a field goal. If the score is tied after each team's first possession, the next score will win the game. 2 timeouts per team, no coaches' challenges, only booth reviews from here on out. Houston has won the toss. They will receive to start overtime.
When you watch the body language of Dan Bailey, he comes out to kick this one off, and he was as upset as he possibly could be in missing that potential game winner.
In his 4th year in the NFL, he has been everything that Dallas could hope for. They signed him to a 7-year, $22.5 million deal. And he had a chance to end it, could not at the end of regulation. So it's OT. Bailey bangs it through the back of the end zone. Dallas and Houston tied at 17 apiece. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Jenny Dell, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, producer Mark Wolf, director Bob Fishman. Sold out at AT&T Stadium. A 3-0 lead for the Cowboys at the end of the first half, and then we saw some offense. We saw some scoring in that third quarter. But Dallas still had a chance to seal the win if they could get a few first downs up by 7. They could not. It was a quick possession. Houston took over. They scored a quick touchdown. Handoff. Arian Foster. Foster brought down across the 40. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Dwayne Brown and Ben Jones. It's that left side again. 151 yards for Foster.
And it's straight at the Cowboys. There's nothing tricky about this. It's not a wide play. It's one cut and go.
Just shy of the 45. Houston on the move. It's Foster. Up the middle. Brought down by Church. But now Foster is gashing this Dallas defense on the ground.
Well, they got back to what they've done so well in the past, and that's a zone running scheme. First play to the right side, a big gain. Second play to the left side, exactly the same play, just flipping it over, and they right to midfield in 2 plays.
And for Rod Marinelli's defense, which has been solid throughout the season, to give up that quick drive at the end of regulation towards the end for the touchdown, and now to start out overtime, Houston is having its way with the Dallas D. Alfred Blue is in. Blue works off tackle for 2. Selvey and Crawford combined to bring him down.
Just 4 of 12 converting third downs for the Texans today. They've been pretty good throughout the season at 41%. This will be an interesting play selection for Bill O'Brien if he doesn't make the first down.
Will Romo get a chance? Touchdown wins the game for Houston. It's a 3rd and 2. Foster sets up as a receiver. Working from the gun, Fitzpatrick. Looks, throws, sideline, incomplete. The Dallas defense holds up.
And Justin Durant did a great job. Fitzpatrick hanging in there and gets drilled by Mincy. Good clean hit by Mincy. But Foster could not shake Durant on the wheel route to the outside.
A punt from Wetler. Harris waiting for it. Flag is thrown. It bounces in the air. Actually takes a Cowboys bounce. And it's touched at the 20-yard line. The penalty marker is down to the 16. 28-yard punt.
And you would anticipate this being against the Cowboys, some type of illegal block. This will back them up inside the 10.
During the kick, holding, number 37, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it's C.J. Spillman called on the hold.
Spillman had a similar penalty to start the ball game in the first quarter on a punt return.
So, Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys offense with a chance to win.
You know, at this stage of the game, when you're in overtime, you're tied, you can go back to your original game plan, the things you thought coming into the game were going to be successful. You combine that then with the adjustments you made at halftime, where all of a sudden you started moving the ball offensively. Just pick and choose now what you think's going to be successful.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys, just shy of the 10-yard line. Delayed handoff, it's Murray. 5-yard pickup for Murray to the 15. Pickett and Swearinger in on the stop.
And the thing that people got to remember is you've got all the time in the world here. You've got 12:40, 12:30 to go in the overtime. So there's no hurry. You can be patient and be sure of what the play call is.
3 receiver set, nickel package for Houston. From the gun, Romo to the outside after the catch. Des Bryant trying to curl around the defender. He actually had the first down, but because of that adjustment, they're going to mark him behind the marker.
Yep, well, he gave it up, trying to make a bigger play. The important thing is he doesn't show patience here. If he just catches the ball and sits down, he has the first down.
So instead, it's a 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys. We're under 12 minutes to play in overtime, tied at 17.
Jonathan Joseph comes out. Kareem Jackson replaces him.
Extra offensive lineman here for Dallas. Jeremy Parnell. Oh, he picked the right hole. Murray! So tough to bring down. You can't arm tackle him. He's 6 foot, 217 pounds, and he's a rock. 11 yards and a new set of downs for the Cowboys.
Yeah, great block there by Free. But how about Murray? You know, a lot of running backs will get to the line of scrimmage, close their eyes, and anticipate a hit. Kept his eyes open, bounces off, and picks up a huge first down for the Cowboys.
134 yards on 28 carries for DeMarco Murray, the NFL's leading rusher. Shotgun here for Romo. Next score wins the game. Romo trying to put an end to it. And a slotting attempt by Witten. Incomplete.
Well, the pressure got to Romo that time. 5-man rush for the Texans, and that sped the clock up there for Tony Romo. He had Witten, but the pressure was getting to him. That forced the bad throw.
.417 yards of offense for Jason Garrett's team. You want to be a head coach in the NFL? There's going to be some emotions involved.
Yeah, it's in his bloodline, isn't it?
Dad, a longtime football coach, Jim Garrett. In fact, Jim Garrett was the coach of the Houston Texans in the WFL 1974. Jason's dad. Timeout called.
So this isn't the first Texan team you're saying then. We had the WFL,
Yeah.
NFL, and AFL.
Yeah. They've gotten around, the Texans.
Well, it's a catchy name.
And then,
But, you know, using that timeout, they only have 2 to work with in overtime. That's huge. And that may be the reason we saw that expression on Jason Garrett's face.
Scott Linehan just gave some instructions to Tony Romo. We've got 10:49 to play in OT and a 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys. Two star running backs have done their respective jobs today. Arian Foster, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Murray has gone for 134. Murray picks up a yard. J.J. Watt and Ryan Pickett there defensively for Houston.
The Cowboys have had good success converting 3rd downs today. 7 of 13. But this is a 3rd down and 9. And those are tough ones.
Scott Linehan calling the plays for this Cowboys offense. Next score wins. Cowboys facing a 3rd and long. Romo floats one up in the air. Juggle. Dez Bryant. Oh, spectacular grab by Bryant. One-on-one. Bryant wins the matchup.
Well, he caught it twice. The ball is going to go off his hands there, and as he's falling, he reaches over the top of Joseph Helmet to pull it in. What concentration. Joseph played it perfectly. He split the hands of Bryant, but couldn't keep Bryant from grabbing the ball right off the top of his hat.
And Dan, they are now in field goal range after that long completion to the Pro Bowler. Dez Bryant, concentration and physical skills. On a give, Murray. He's dropped. Bryant pushing there. Line of scrimmage will be just shy of the 30. That's 137 yards rushing for Murray. 30 carries.
You know, you go back to that play. It was a all-and-out blitz by the Texans. They brought the safety, Swearingen, and Cushing, and Romo saw it, and he knew he had man-to-man coverage on the outside with one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the game. He gave him a shot, and Bryant paid it off.
Right now, it would be a 48-yard field goal attempt for Bailey, who missed a 53-yarder at the end of regulation that could have ended it and would have ended it for Dallas. Give it to Murray. Stiff arm. Nothing there. No gain. And they're going to send Bailey onto the field now.
Now, Houston does have 2 timeouts. So Bill O'Brien icing Bailey earlier. He may think about doing it one more time.
Depending on the spot here, it's 48 or 49 yards, and it's going to be a 49-yard attempt. For the win. Redemption for Bailey. Yes! He knocks Puts it through. The Cowboys win in overtime. 20-17 over the Texans. Bragging rights belong to Dallas.
Perfect snap, the hold, right down the middle. What a job by the Cowboys bouncing back after Houston grabbed all the momentum. But to have the awareness and leadership of a quarterback like Tony Romo, knowing what his weapons are, getting a big play from a guy that makes big plays for you, Des Bryant.
And it's Dan Bailey converting from 49 yards away for Bill O'Brien. Heartache. His team fought and battled at the end of regulation to tie the game up. Dallas had an opportunity to win it in regulation, but it's the Cowboys, a winner 20-17 in overtime. Let's send it.